out of our current thinking. Being critical can come off as judgy. Who wants to be judged? But really, being critical is looking at both the good and the bad of things. I mean, for example, a rose has a beautiful scent, but it also has thorns. The word thinking itself comes off as judgy. Maybe someone's told you once, but you really didn't think that one through. Like when you choose to go out with friends instead of studying for that test you have tomorrow. When I was a first graduate from college, I worked as an auditor. I thought everything was fraud or a mistake. Get so excited about it, thinking that I really found something, and then what I realized was it was just me misunderstanding how they did things or misinterpreting what I was seeing. So how do we shift our thinking? So I've got two ideas for you that help me. One is the rule of threes, and two is emotional detachment. So let's start with the rule of threes. When you're looking at something for the first time or learning something new, if you follow the rule of threes, you can look at three independent sources or perspectives on that topic. I recently learned how to make curry. I love curry, so I thought, hey, it would be a great thing to learn about. But I've never made it before. I reviewed 3 different people's take on making curry. Here's what I did. I looked for similarities. So here what you're doing is you're trying to crowdsource or get people to vouch for their method. Because if you see the same method across 3 different people, you can pretty much get a good idea that that's a good method. And then you'll also pick up on a few tweaks. Maybe the person's grandmother always added an extra spice. Your goal here is to learn the process from the similarities. Now you've got an opinion on how to make curry. And you might even try to make it yourself if that's your goal. If someone were to tell you that curry's main ingredient is ketchup, you'd raise an eyebrow, because you had enough exposure through the rule of threes to know that's simply not true. Yes, it is tomato-based, but it's not ketchup. The rule of threes helps you expand your horizons enough to be better informed and improve your critical thinking. Okay, let's go on to that second thing. Emotional detachment. Now, detachment sounds bad. Like when you were seeing a person you really like and they leave you unread. Detachment can also mean not letting your emotions run away with you. It happens to all of us. Sometimes you find that you've applied for a job that you wanted, and then you find out somebody else got the job, and you're like, what? What? Them? It's like Mount Vesuvius starting to well up inside of you, and you are literally hot to the touch, and talking fast. Like, can you believe they promoted that person and not me? What's usually not said out loud is, why didn't they pick me? And the inner dialogue starts. What don't I have that that person has? Why do I always get passed over? The hair on your neck standing up? Bringing these things can stir some emotions. Emotional detachment frees you of judging the situation, of judging yourself. It takes down the temperature. But how? By taking the rise out of your reaction. This one is easy to explain, but takes some practice. When your mind starts to go down a path of, are you kidding me? Why not me? You need to interrupt that thinking. You can audibly say something like, stop, or physically get up and move your body. Your mind reads either of those as a signal to shift your thoughts. So when you want to think critically, try practicing the rule of threes and emotional detachment. It'll give you a broader base of knowledge, and it'll build your wisdom to help keep your emotional responses measured and in line with the news being delivered. Until next time, 07 to you on your journey.